do I do my taxes as an independent contractor? Maybe that's not the language. How do I do my business taxes? Is a question that we get often, but not often enough. A lot of people are out here just winging it, getting 1099s. Yeah, we flew under the radar with that whole 1099 debacle for this year. But next year, it's going to get really real. Today is Tax Tip Tuesday with none other than your girl, B. Valise, with Tried and True Financial Services, where our core mission is helping entrepreneurs like you with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. And so today we are here to talk about the topic of taxes, business taxes as an independent contractor. So you might ask, first of all, what is an independent contractor, right? Listen, if you are self-employed, you are an independent contractor. An independent contractor performs services for another person or other businesses. If you get to decide when you work, or then you're self-employed. Or if you supply your own resources to get the job done, you may be considered self-employed. And if you do similar work for other people or other businesses, then you're likely self-employed. Self-employed people do not receive a W-2. Self-employed people receive deposits, receipts, or 1099s. If you fall into that category where your money, you do a job and your money just flows directly to your bank account, you self-employed. That means you're an independent contractor. If you do contract work for people and they ask for your W-9 or they ask for your social security number, yeah, you're self-employed. And guess what? That means you're an independent contractor. Self-employed and independent contractor are used synonymously. They're the same thing. So I just want to share a quick story with you about how I had this conversation with the independent contractor who I don't think he realized he was an independent contractor, right? I was traveling for business and I was catching an Uber from the airport to my location. And, just striking up some conversation because you guys know I'm passionate about what I do. And I'm always trying to help entrepreneurs everywhere with the ABCs of finance to simplify their accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. So I began to just strike up some general conversation with him about him being an Uber driver and about making sure that, he do his taxes and make sure that he's setting money aside for his taxes so that he doesn't end up with a huge tax bill. And he was like, "Oh, well, I didn't get no tax paperwork for my driving." I was like, "Oh, so you haven't been driving that long? You probably didn't make more than $600 because anytime you make $600 or more, Uber is going to issue you a 1099. He was like, "Oh, they didn't give me that." He was like, I just went to my tax person and if it's something that I need to do, then my tax person will let me." No. What? No. That's not the way that it works. You out here driving, you out here managing your life, you out here operating as an independent contractor, you're self-employed. You need to know what your tax obligation is. You need to be the one that provide the documentation to your tax professional. It's not up to your tax professional to tell you how to live your life. Hello, somebody. It's not up to your tax professional to tell you what documents you should or should not receive. They don't know how much money that you made. They don't know how long you've been driving, especially if it's a new gig that you're doing. You're a gig worker. This is a new gig that you're doing. They don't necessarily know all the details. Of course, we're going to ask a lot of questions, but Boy, oh boy, y'all be rushing us through those questions. Slow down. This is a very important aspect of your life. Managing your finances well and knowing what your responsibilities and your obligations are is your responsibility. So now, if you're self-employed, you're responsible for your own income and expenses. You want to make sure that you're tracking your income and expenses. Okay? You want to make sure that out of every dollar you make, that you're setting money aside for taxes. I recommend that people set aside at least 20%. So if you make a dollar, put 20 cents to the side for taxes. If you make $100, put $20 aside for taxes. That's a whole nother conversation. We're just talking about for independent contract work, how to pay your taxes, payroll, operating expenses, all of those types of things is a whole nother conversation for a different day. But if you are a gig worker, you are an independent contractor, if you are self-employed, then what I want you to do is make sure that you go ahead and get you an EIN and set up your LLC. Because when they ask for your information, you don't want to just be giving all of these people that you're doing work for your social security number, especially in this day and age where fraud is at an all-time high. Get you an EIN, set your business up as its own entity, set up an LLC. The LLC is the initial setup for any business. Now, when we get into talking about S Corp, C Corp, partnership, or whatever, and a basic LLC can transition to any of those things. So that's why I always recommend, outside of just operating as a sole proprietor under your social security number, you want to go ahead and set up an LLC and get you an EIN so that your business can operate on its own. It has its own name, give it its own name, its own EIN number, and its own paperwork. Like you got you a birth certificate, give your business a birth certificate. That's LLC document. Okay. Set yourself up, protect yourself. All right. And then you also want to make sure that you go ahead and you take that documentation and you go to your local bank and you set up yourself a business bank account and set yourself up an accounting system. The business bank account is going to serve the purpose of any income that's flowing through that EIN number that you just gave them. It's going to go to your business bank account, not your personal account. Hello, we're not commingling. We're not commingling this year. We ain't doing that. It's a new year. We're doing new things. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's not what we're doing. We're doing things new. Okay? Go ahead and take that EIN and that LLC operating agreement, articles of organization, whatever you got, set yourself up a business bank account and flow that business income through to your business bank account. Okay. Set up your percentages, 20% for taxes. Matter of fact, when you set up your business bank account, you need at least 3 of them. One for operating your business, one for taxes, and one for payroll. Hello, somebody. 3. Operating, taxes, and payroll. And then out of every dollar, you're going to take that dollar and let's just make it easy and split it 3 ways. 33rd, 33rd. Let's get in on the 33rd. Okay. 33rd, 33. These are just general numbers. You can use your numbers based on what it costs you to run your business, but send a third of it to payroll, send a third of it to taxes, and then leave a third of it in for operating, right? But you want to allocate into those 3 buckets. So when it's time to pay payroll, you can pay it out of the payroll account. If you need to pay yourself, you're paying yourself out of your payroll account. And then when it's time to pay taxes, your quarterly estimated taxes as a business owner, as a sole proprietor, as a gig worker, you're responsible for paying your own taxes and they need to be paid quarterly. So you pay it out of the tax account. Okay. And then you continue to operate. You're getting your gas, you're getting your oil changes, you're getting your car washes out of the operating account. You're operating the business, so you're paying those expenses out of the operating account. Simple, right? And then on top of that, you want to make sure, excuse me, that you go ahead and set yourself up an accounting system, whether it's Wave, QuickBooks, or whatever it is. I am partial to Intuit. I use all Intuit products. And so we use QuickBooks. We recommend QuickBooks. We do have an affiliate link where you can get 30% off on QuickBooks for 6 months. If you go up to our website, www.triedandtruefs.com, click on the links tab. There's the link where you can get your discount for 6 months. If you go directly to the QuickBooks or the Intuit website, they're going to offer you 30% off for 3 months. 50% off for 3 months. So this is a little bit better deal. Okay. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and do that. You're setting up your business bank account and you're setting up your accounting system. And then you want to make sure that you file your taxes on time and that you file with a reputable tax accountant. The reason why you want to do that is because filing your taxes on time, it has many benefits, but one of the main benefits I like to talk about, and it hurts my heart, I see it happening in real life, y'all, still today. I'm dealing with a client right now who going through this whole identity verification for their own tax return because it's a fraud suspicion. What? I ain't even filed my taxes in 2 years. What you talking about? Fraud. It's me. Nah, bruh. You sat on it. It wasn't important to you, so somebody else made it a priority for them, and they, tried to take your identity, created a fraudulent tax return, and filed it, and had your refund sent to their bank account. Don't let people get down on you like that. Don't let them do it. They will do it. Don't let people get down on you like that. File your taxes and file them in a timely manner so that you don't have to worry about that. All right. And then you want to make sure that you're filing with a reputable tax accountant, someone who is an enrolled agent, someone who is a CPA, someone who has the credentials of AFSP, annual filing season prepared, somebody who has a P10, a preparer tax ID number. So just like I'm telling you, don't give people your social security number, use your EIN. As a preparer, we all in each individual, it ain't no shared, community number. Each person needs to have their own P10, and their P10, your preparer tax ID number, goes on the bottom of that tax return. Every tax return I get paid for filing, my name is on there, my business name, and my P10 is on there because I'm held accountable. If somebody is saying they're going to do your taxes for you, and then you look at the bottom and it says self-prepared, and you didn't prepare it yourself, you gave them a cut out of your money, you let them get in on your Scorilla, and they ain't even sign their name on your tax return, shame on you. Don't let nobody get down on you like that. Make sure that you're filing with a reputable tax accountant who's operating in integrity, in an ethical manner, because at the end of the day, when it come back to bite you, it's gonna bite you. They ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. Don't take no chance like that. Don't play no games like that, because I don't want to play no games. That is not what we do here at Tried and True. So make sure you're filing your taxes on time with a reputable tax accountant. I say it all the time, you guys. Just make sure you're doing the right thing. Make sure you're doing it decently in order, and make sure that you get all of these things done. You file your taxes. And when you file your taxes as an independent contractor, you're filing a Schedule C along with your Form 1040. That's your personal tax return. Form 1040 and a Schedule C is a profit and loss from a business. I hear a lot of times people saying, oh, well, I want to file my business taxes separate. Only businesses that's filing a separate tax return is partnership. They file Form 1065. A S Corp files Form 1120S, or C Corp straight up 1120. And then it get issued a K1, which is comparable to a W-2. They get their K1 and they take that K1 and they put that with their 1040 and file it on their personal tax return. Well, as a sole proprietor operating under your Social Security number, or a single member LLC operating under your EIN number, that information is getting reported on your Schedule C and it's being attached to your 1040. You need to know these things. It's basic, this basic information that you need, accounting 101, that you need to be aware of when it comes to your tax filing. So if you're a gig worker, you're doing DoorDash, you're doing driving for Amazon, they're giving you a 1099, you're driving for Uber, Lyft, whatever the places are that issue you 1099s, they have until January 31st to get those out into the mail. You might get it via email. Make sure you checking your email. Make sure you checking your regular mail. And as that information is coming in, I don't know, put it on a paper clip, put it on a binder clip, put it in a paper bag. I don't know, but keep all of your documents together so that when it's time to get your taxes done, you're filing an accurate tax return, because you already know if something happened and something go wrong, you get a letter from the IRS, you're going to look at it and throw it to the side. You ain't even going to open it up. Open all your mail. Open it. Don't assume nothing. This is the season where you want to open all of your mail. Open all of your mail. And if it says important tax documents, set it to the side and make sure that you give it to your tax preparer so that they can file a timely and accurate tax return for you. And this has been your segment of Tried and True Financial Services Tax Tip Tuesday about how do I file my taxes as an independent contractor. I hope this information has been useful. I hope this information has struck a light, a match up under, a fire up under you to get you moving in the right direction, doing things decently and in order. And make sure if you need some help, we're right here. Help is near. Help is here. Tried and True Financial Services is at your service this tax season to help you simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. It's been real. Make sure that you go ahead and schedule your service up on our website at triedandtruefs.com. And we'll see you next week for next week's segment of Tax Tip Tuesday with Tried and True Financial Services and your girl, Beverly Smith. Have a great night.